welcome everybody who is here to support these fine, handsome, attractive, interesting tellers that we have. 16 in all. One story each. Three go through to our Grand Slam next Sunday evening. All new stories. We've been doing this for several months. Talent. Am I right, Mary?
Mm-hmm. Oh
Talent.
my goodness. Next week's going to be off the hook.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
These are
Mhm.
challenging stories to tell. So anybody who's showing up, putting them together, crafting them, delivering them, a lot of respect. Uh,
Mm,
let, let us continue to welcome some people in, and I'll wait a couple of minutes before I go over with everyone again how this evening is going to look. People are sharing with us where they are. Do we have anybody who's not from North America that you see there? I'm just curious.
no, I don't. I don't. No. Mm-mm.
We have a high percentage of Canadians here. Are you feeling
Yeah, I
comfortable
know.
about that, Mary?
I feel comfortable with our Canadian friends. There's some lovely folks coming in from Canada. So, yes.
Yes. I don't think they're any nicer than us. I think
Yes.
that's a bunch of bullshit, but I'm fine with them being nice. I think we're
Oh,
also nice.
yeah.
You're not
Well, Boston is a little,
right. They're nicer than people in Boston. That's probably true.
that's true.
They're
That's
more
true.
polite.
But
Mm-hmm.
I love. We see what's happening here. We're getting some infighting.
Wow. Hey,
Uh,
listen, listen to my accent, girl. You know where I'm from.
hey, it's good. The more people that are here, we're 40 some people. Thanks for being here. We'll get a. I don't know if it's a fairer vote, but you know what I mean. The more people, more likely will get it
Yeah.
right. By the way, tellers, you will also be able to vote when that poll comes up. Now, if you're voting on your own section, I'd vote for myself if I were you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you have to? No, but you get your one vote. All right. Uh,
Totally allowed.
what's
Totally
that?
allowed. Totally allowed. Vote for
You only
yourself.
get you only get one vote. So if it were me, I'd vote for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to do a really crappy job and really think like, man, nah. And even then, I'd vote for myself. Wouldn't you?
I would.
I mean, come on, man. All
Gotta
right,
get.
so we don't really do things super officially here. We are recording this, so for tellers and our audience, if you want to not be seen, you have a function within Zoom near your picture. There's three little dots, and if you click on them, you can stop your video. I would love it if you kept your video on, but if you don't want to be seen, I understand that we're recording that. This, as we always do, and we are live on Facebook. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to go into all the details about my group and me. Just, I'm Sean. I'm in Chapel Hill, and my co host is Mary. Do you want to be
Yeah.
known as Queen Mary or something else tonight?
I think Queen Mary is just fine. I think it describes me very well.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And where are you, Mary?
I'm in Boston, Massachusetts.
All right. I'm in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We got a little Carolina, Massachusetts connection.
Right.
For those that haven't been to this before, we do a bunch of events. The slams, the 99-second slams are one of them. We started several months ago. We had a few slams and then a grand slam. This is what we're calling season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this, we had 3 slams. And from those slams, we had people who go on to the grand slam. We do it a little differently. You don't have to win the slam to go on to the grand slam. You just have to make it to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, tonight's our wild card because we have 3 spots open in the Grand Slam, which is next Sunday. So the 16 tellers here this evening are vying for those 3 spots. So we will break these into 3 sections: 5 tellers, and then 6 tellers, and then 5 tellers. Randomly drawn from my hat from Cusco, Peru. Okay. Did I tell you about the story about the girl I met at New Year's in Cusco, Peru? Okay, I didn't. That's a good story sometime.
Yeah.
And each teller will tell their 99-second story. And at the end of each section, Mary will give you, the audience, and all of us a very brief summary of that story. And then you will see an audience poll go up. And if there's questions being directed at me, Mary, can you field them?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
someone just asked where your hat is from again, because we
that's a
haven't heard
great.
that.
Oh, Chandreyee, thank you for reminding me. Yes. So it's from Peru. You know where it's from. Yeah. So at the end of each section, Mary will do a quick summary. You will vote, and of course, we're not going to tell you who's going through right away.
Mm.
We're gonna string you along until the end. We're gonna announce the 3 people, and then, like we always do, we just hang out a little bit and do a Q&A. We talk about it. Optional for both tellers and for audience. But either way, whether you're in the audience or you're a teller, whether you go through it to the Grand Slam or not, I do hope you have fun voting and telling, and I hope you can come next week as well. Same time. I think it's even the same link, but I don't want to talk about links just yet. In any case,
No.
couple of Zoom basics. I know that probably everyone here knows all about Zoom at this point. Well, what are we, like 10 months into this shit?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. We know too much about Zoom.
we know a lot about Zoom.
Yeah, way too much.
But if you go to view speaker or gallery, you can use the chat function to send a message to everybody or someone in particular. I think it's a great way because everyone will be on mute for most of the show, unless you're telling a story or your name is Sean or Mary. And we will, but please chat with the tellers. Send them things. Great story. Wow. Very moving. Don't send them stuff like that was not your best work. Nobody wants to hear that while they're in the show. You can do that afterwards.
No.
While they're in the show, probably want to say nice
Yeah.
things to them, right? Because it's nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Be kind, please.
You just
Yeah.
look at
Totally
look at
nerve-wracking.
Mark and Sharon and Paul. I mean, they're schwitzing. Look at them. But it's okay. You're gonna be fine. You're good. No, I'm just playing. Actually, everybody here is a seasoned storyteller, even if they're new to this little bubble. They've been doing this for some time. So there's an immense amount of talent, which I appreciate. I've got nothing really else to say. I'll put a couple links in and do a little plugging as we go along. Give you an opportunity for our audience to send a couple of bucks our way for a thank you, but it's completely optional. And I think that's it. To our audience, I will say several times who's telling the story, and you'll be reminded by Mary about their story. Here's the thing. It's a storytelling show. These are stories, even though they're 99 seconds. The only way a teller is disqualified is if they go over time. So that means if in 99 seconds, one of our tellers does like a stand-up bit, comedy, which is good. There's nothing wrong with comedy. Or they're reading, which they're not supposed to be doing. Nobody's going to say you're disqualified. I'm just asking you, our audience, to, I don't know, vote for the people who are telling stories, who aren't reading. Or like I say, if you are reading, just do it so we don't know. Be smart about it. Come on. I mean, it's been 10 months. Figure this shit out. That's all I'm saying. All right, cool. I mean, right? There's nothing wrong with cheating a little bit, but just cheat smart. No big deal. It's not a big deal if you're reading. It's just in the spirit of things that we like to be sort of off book, no notes. And you all know what stories are. You wouldn't be at this event if you didn't. So we're all good. Are we good, Mary? Should I draw the first name? Mary?
I'm sorry, honey.
Should we draw the first name?
I think we should draw the first name.
Draw the first name. And remember, by the way, most people hate going first, but this is different. The first section, there's only 5 tellers. It's not a big thing. There's no disadvantage.
Sherry, you're giving your hand. Hold on, Sherry.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. Is my name in the hat?
No. Do you want it to be in the hat?
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
All right. Sherry's name is in the hat.
All right.
Sherry and I have talked about this. She was a maybe.
Yeah.
Now she's I'm in. You know why? Because you were so encouraging, Sean.
That's how I roll. Right.
That is.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people know that about me.
He really is.
He is.
All right. So thank you, Sherry. Nobody knew tellers. Sherry's in. We've been going back and forth, so we're all good. So instead of 565, it's 656. Richard, if my math is wrong, don't get on here and tell me I'm wrong. I know what you're about to do, Richard Munchkin in Las Vegas. 656 makes 17? Yes.
It does, sir.
All right. 656. So now if you're in the second round, you're thrilled about it. Here we go. Our first storyteller this evening, live from Las Vegas. Let me find you, Bob. Bob, is your video on, please, sir? There he is. Take your time, man. I found you. Unmute yourself. I'll spotlight you, and the stage is yours, sir.
In 2014, I married Bonnie. 2 years after her husband, Fred, of 47 years, had died of cancer. Early in the dating process, I commented on her earrings, and she told me that Fred had gotten her those for Christmas. I told her they were lovely, but she was not going to get any Christmas presents or birthday presents or anniversary presents from me. I will give her plenty of gifts. She'll go on cruises, lots of dinners out, go dancing, but I don't give gifts when society says I have to. She wasn't sure, because that isn't the way Fred did it, but she thought she'd give it a try. And after a year and a half of dating, she decided she could marry me anyway, even with my weirdness. So on Valentine's Day, after we got married, I didn't get her anything, of course. I found myself wondering, what would Fred have gotten her on this Valentine's Day were they still married? I get into my home office and I see there's this little teddy bear for Valentine's Day with a red satin heart that says, "Love is for sharing." Well, okay, I wasn't going to get her anything. It's up to her whether she gets me anything. There's also a note on the side, and I know who wrote it, but I decided I would read it just in case it was something interesting. And it is. It says, "To Bonnie, love Fred, boing."
Leading us off, Bob Dancer. Man, good job, Bob. Thank you. Mary?
Yes.
Props are okay, right?
Props are okay. We
What's
haven't
wrong?
we haven't eliminated props.
What's wrong with a prop?
No, we have.
Okay, look, here's the deal. You want to play around. There's sometimes tellers add a picture. They have a stuffed animal. We've had human beings join other human beings on here as props.
Also, yes.
That was me.
That was also, there are things you can do that nobody said you can't do. That said, Mary, a good story is a good story, and a not so good story is a not so good story, and all that stuff won't make a difference.
That's very true.
Storyteller number 2 in section or heat number 1. Not Sharon Eisner, but Sharon Singer. Hey, Sharon, I'm going to spotlight you, and you take your time. Hey.
Hey,
All right. So I had recently adopted my dog Rosie from a shelter. She was originally from West Virginia, as many of the dogs in the Washington, D.C. area are. And I had been invited to go to a friend's cabin on a farm that she and her friends rented out in West Virginia. So I piled Rosie the dog into the car and my friend, and we drove out to this beautiful farm out in the mountains, and there were all these dogs running around, and it was a little cabin on the farm of a family that lived there. They had a young daughter who was very excited that there was like a whole group of us coming to hang out that weekend, and I believe she was playing her trumpet to welcome us. And I guess apparently as farm kids are, she was into 4-H. So when we pulled up, there were all these dogs running around. I'm like, I'm gonna let Rosie out and join all these other dogs with her brethren in West Virginia. And where does she go? But she immediately makes a beeline to the chicken coop where the electrical fence was turned off. And Rosie went for that beautiful 4-H chicken that the daughter had been raising. And it was one of those slow motion, jump onto it. And I was like, no. And luckily I grabbed her And the chicken was fine, but man, was that a scary time.
Boom. Thank you, Sharon. Is it Virginia or Maryland?
I'm in Virginia.
Virginia. So we started in Nevada and we went to Virginia. This is what we can do here on Zoom, Mary, right? It's a new world. We can go all over the place. And we will be spending ample time in Canada this evening.
Bundle up.
Bundle up.
Bundle up.
There's some parts of Canada that are not that cold, you know.
Yeah, but I think right now every place is cold. Let's be honest.
I don't know if
It's cold.
Vancouver is that cold.
No,
I don't think Vancouver is that cold right now.
I can tell you Boston is that cold, and that's where I am, and that's what's meaningful to me.
I got it, Queen. The Queen speaks, people. Storyteller number 3. Jeannine. Scott, you're going to unmute yourself. I'll spotlight you when you are good. Take your time, Jeannine.
Unmute myself.
You're good. I can hear you.
All right. The first time I tried online dating, the very first guy I connected with checked all the boxes. Could I be that lucky that the very first guy was the one? Now his picture, well, I didn't think it was that recent, but I was told that was normal. And I'm an intelligent woman. I can play the game. I aged him in my mind as to what I thought he would look like now. No, we chatted for about a week. Then we decided we were going to go out for coffee. And my friend said, well, you're going to need an escape text. I said, well, an escape text? What's that? She said, well, 20 minutes into the date, I'm going to send you a text. If you need it, you'll say it's an emergency and you can escape. I said, no, I don't need that. This guy is perfect. What could go wrong? When I walked into that cafe and I saw a man waving at me, the only thing that went through my mind was, oh God, I hope that's not him. Oh God, I hope that's just a friendly person waving at me. And oh God, what happened to my escape text? Boom.
Ow. Thank you, Jeannine. Scott in Montreal. That great job. All of our first 3 storytellers. Queen Mary, what do you think of that start?
Oh, I think I love the range and the different stories.
Right.
I'm always amazed at the different subjects everybody talks about.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I think in the next season, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's what I'm using. Season works, right? It sounds. I think we should go with some sort of theme.
Oh, I love that idea.
I think we're going to do a theme for season 3, but we'll see. Next teller. Well, wouldn't you know it? Sherry Lynn. All right, teller number 4 of 6 in heat number 1. I know that's a lot of numbers we're manipulating. Sherry, take your time.
Okay. It's telling me to unmute myself, but I'm already unmuted.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. So in 1984, I'm 16 years old. And my sister and I are at my mom's house having some wine. We were sitting on the floor talking when she told me something incredibly shocking. A baby I thought had died back in 1979 really didn't. She was pressured into giving her baby girl up for adoption because she was a mixed ethnicity baby. I was stunned, but mostly angry. I told her, I cussed at God and lost faith because you guys lied to me. Why would you lie to me? She said, Mom didn't think you'd understand. To be honest, I still don't understand because we weren't brought up in a racist household. And since that day, I've prayed that either she finds us or we find her. But it seemed my prayers had gone unanswered. until this summer when she found us. She used Ancestry.com and got us. So since then, she and I formed a relationship through Facebook and Messenger. And I love her already. But really, I've loved her since 1979. Boom.
Nice.
Oof.
Sherry in the Detroit area. Well done. What do we got? Vegas, Virginia. I know that's a state, obviously not a city. Montreal,
Mhm.
Detroit, Greater Detroit.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We're traveling. We're traveling tonight.
99 seconds or less. Stories with a beginning, middle, end. Optional boom at the end is just what we do here. You don't have to. Bob, dancer, for example, is trying to usurp what's going. She's trying to change it to a boing.
Boing.
I don't think it's gonna win. I think Boom is probably gonna win out, but let Bob be Bob. It's all good.
It's all right.
Our next teller, another Canadian. His name is Briane, and I'm gonna find him. And I feel like he is who he is. All right, man. Are you unmuted? Yep, you are good whenever you're ready, Briane. Take your time.
I'm 28 years old. I'm standing behind a red velvet curtain. On the other side, there are 90 screaming women as this hunky male model's walking up and down a runway with a little Speedo on. And I'm thinking, hey, I'm next. I was working on a television show called Thrill of a Lifetime, where people wrote in their fondest dreams and the producers made them come true. One woman wanted to judge a male beauty pageant, so they set it up. They got 10 eligible guys. But the night before one pulled out, the producers thought, hey, let's have Briane enter. I said, sure. You have to understand, I'm 5'11" and a half and dumpy, and everyone else is 6'2", 6'3", and svelte. Early in the evening, I won the talent competition against a German who happens to be a flight attendant and sing country western music in German. Easy win. So I am leading going into the swimsuit competition, and I'm the last one. Ladies and ladies, here's Briane. The curtain opens, there's applause, and then there's silence. Why? Well, I knew I had to wear the Speedo. I didn't want to scare the women. So over my little bathing suit, I have my red and black Pierre Cardin robe in velour, and I'm walking up and down the runway, turning, but no one's getting any response. I get to the curtain. I hear, drop the robe, drop the robe. I drop the robe. I hear, put it back, put it back. I came in 9th. Boom.
Okay. What the hell is in the Canadian waters? What is going on up there?
Right?
Right? All right. Thanks, Briane. So that was 5 of 6
Yeah.
first heat storytellers. We've got one more.
Mhm.
And that then Mary, Queen Mary, is what how we should address her.
Yes.
We'll do a quick blurb or summary of each of those 6 storytellers, and then everybody other than Mary and I will vote.
So
Our
thanks for
final,
giving-
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a given that the people who are voting, tellers, audience, have been paying attention to their favorite
Mhm.
because they're going to need to vote.
They are.
All right. Number 6. Mark in, I believe, New England somewhere.
He's in Massachusetts.
Yep.
We believe he's
Littleton.
a mask guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take your time whenever you are ready, Mark.
My cat Elf saved my life. It wasn't one of those like Timmy's in the well, Lassie kind of moments, but it served the same effect. It's February 1998, late Sunday night. I've got this terrible cold and I'm tossing and I'm turning. One toss, I miss my pillow and herniated disc in my neck. I lose control of my right arm. My doctor gives me Vicodin for the pain. And out of all that tiny little print, she circles opioid-induced constipation. So on Wednesday, when I stop shitting, I'm like, okay, forewarned. I've got X-Lax, I'm drinking tea, I'm eating oatmeal, but nothing helps. Saturday, it's like my burps taste like farts. Sunday, I crawl into bed. I'm in tremendous pain. And Elf jumps up on the bed, and then she jumps on my stomach. And I hit the roof. I finally give in. I crawl over to the phone. I call this dial a nurse number. I tell her my symptoms. I tell her I'm on Vicodin. She says, hang up, call 911, do it now. And she hangs up. And I'm like, I'm not going to call an ambulance for terminal constipation. So I drive myself. I go to the hospital. After a few hours in the lobby, they say they're going to cut me open. And I'm like, didn't put enough in the meter. The next day, the surgeon comes in and he says, guess what? You had gangrene. Boom.
Oh, Jesus. Man.
Wow.
All kinds of different stories, but they all have in common 99 seconds or less.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was over time, which is
Yeah.
great. Neither Mary or I want to be the bad person here saying, sorry, but your name's not going to be on the poll. Nobody wants.
No.
Do you want to do that, Mary? Because I don't.
I make you do that. I don't like doing it.
Of course you don't like doing it. I understand.
Yeah.
Now is the time where Mary will share with you again a blurb about those stories, and then I will put a poll up and you will vote. Mary, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Great.
All right. Bob Dancer gave a gift from a love from the past on Valentine's Day, even though he doesn't like to give gifts on holidays. Sharon Singer saved a 4-H chicken from her beautiful new dog, Rosie, and avoided a whole tears from a kid. Jeannine should not have refused that escape text with online dating. Oh my goodness. Always use the escape text. Sherry talked about how divine intervention brought her niece back to her after many years. Brian was told to put his robe back on during a talent show. And Mark, all I'll say is, guess what? You have gangrene.
Okay. I'm literally trying. I just did what I said I couldn't stand. Did you hear what I did?
What did you do?
I used the word literally.
Literally.
But in this case, I think it was appropriate. All right. I just think it's it. All right. So what I will do right now is I will launch this poll. Everybody, including the tellers, all the tellers, everybody, please vote. That should be upwards of 43 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to get everybody, right?
Yeah, please, everybody vote.
Bob, Sharon, Jeannine, Sherry, Brian, and Mark. I am launching the poll. Let's see how it goes. Man, as a teller, Queen Mary, these are moments in which you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, it is close. Oh, it's close.
oh man. We got, everyone should vote, I hope, because it will make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
If we have a tie, we will then put those two names up in a runoff. It's the easiest way because I don't have, and right now it's one vote difference, and there are a couple of people, not including the people who just joined us, who haven't voted. Right now it's one vote difference, so I don't want to be the annoying host who asks people to vote who are clearly not wanting to vote, but please vote if you haven't voted.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do, Mary? How much more time we give them? Number one is one vote ahead of number two here.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, I think, right there, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Let's end it. Great job, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you to our tellers and to everyone who voted. Awesome. Now, I could just tell you who won, right?
You could, but we're not going to do that. No.
Why would we do that?
We don't do that.
There's all sorts of reasons why we're not going to do that. What I do want to say is I'm going to put a link in to the chat. And it's going to be a link to where I house most of my stuff, our stuff, podcast, events, some classes. So if you have any interest in any way, you can find it. I'm going to do that right now. I know that the chat is busy, and I'm glad for that because there's a lot of love being sent towards the tellers. And I'm also going to put a couple links. 100% optional. If you want to support us in any way, that's a way to do it. And either way is fine. Free events are important, are they not, Queen Mary?
I think so.
I mean, some people say that people look at an event free differently, as if it's not as good. If I pay money to an event, it like has more value.
Oh.
Do you buy that shit?
No, I don't, because look at the storytellers we have here.
Right.
I mean, so those are just judgy people. They're just judgy.
Those are marketers.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, here we go. Remember, the section 2 is only 5 tellers. This is the one you want to kind of back yourself into. Your number 1 is I put 3 up. This boom. Dan Boyd, who is located or lives in the Chicagoland area. Never know what you're going to get with Dan. Ever.
I'm in 2nd grade for the 2nd time, and I have this giant bro crush on these 2 girls. One is blonde and poofy haired with a splatter shot of freckles across her face, and she's pleading with her best friend Marya. She just wants her to cheer up. Marya is a sour face. She's got long brown hair and it's straight, and she's just always sad. She's sad about college and her family and all sorts of stuff. She's just that kind of 2nd grader. I become obsessed with making this girl smile, just like Ashley. I dream about it. I think about it. I create these wild routines, and we become really close friends. So much so that on the playground, Ashley will come and get me and be like, Marya's sad. Come tell her a story. I remember this one time I told her this fantastic story about how I trapped a devil inside a peanut and he's stuck there forever. And she's on the floor just laughing and giggling and holding her belly because it's like one of her favorite stories, and I'm all bombastic and over the top. But when she calms down, she looks at me and she drops this little nugget. And she says, just because you made me laugh, it doesn't change the sad thing.
I'm going to insert the boom there. Thanks, Dan. Queen Mary, that one got you, huh?
That was a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good
all
one.
good. All good.
Sean, I'd like to point out that you held up the number 08.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
So
was
if
everything. That was intentional. Yeah, no, I think everyone knew what I was doing, but thank you. What do you see now?
name,
Is that better?
yeah. I missed the joke, sorry.
I didn't think it was a joke. I appreciate you pointing it out. Dan, when I warned you and it said 08 instead of 80, you knew what I was doing, I hope. I want to be fair.
Yeah.
A simple yes. no,
I'm running my own clock, and I knew where I was at. So thank you so much.
Sure. No, but thank you for pointing it out, Marya. I shall. I don't think I'm dyslexic.
Just busting your hump.
I'm just really easily confused sometimes.
Hey, you're multitasking.
That's not going to come to a shock to you or anybody else here, I don't think.
No.
Storyteller number 2. By the way, storytellers, we will have an opportunity at a few select moments to plug and promote our stuff. Promise. Because I know you're involved with a lot of cool things, producing or telling or whatever it may be. Cool. Next storyteller. I'm actually not sure where he's located, which adds a little bit to the suspense here. I kind of like it. Michael,
can you hear me? Yeah, I'm Seattle.
Are you Seattle?
Yeah.
Hang on, give me 1 sec. I need to remove a spotlight there. All right, you are good to go. Take your time.
In the winter of 1989, I totaled my car in a 100-car pileup outside of Seattle. But with the insurance winnings I got, I bought the car of my dreams almost. It was a brand new 1989 Pontiac Firebird. It was red. It had T-tops. It played a CD. It only had cloth seats, and it was only the 6-cylinder. But I loved that car. I really loved that car. So a few months later, after I woke up one morning going to work, and it was one of those perfect days in Seattle, 65 degrees, a cool day. And I said, today is the day I'm going to drive that car, and I am going to be the guy that I always wanted to be. So I put on a little suit. I had glass sunglasses. I had a little tie that was sort of like Jackson Pollock paint all over it. I was looking way better than a pandemic old man right now. And so I got in that car and I'm driving down and I am playing music like Madonna Holiday and Depeche Mode and feeling quite cool. I had to stop for gas after driving through Seattle, cruising through Seattle, and I got out and I pumped the gas, and then I sauntered, not walked, but sauntered my way into the mini mart to pay. And once you know, the day couldn't have been any more perfect. Right there, my favorite food, a blueberry muffin. Ran back with the blueberry muffin, got in the car, eating the muffin. All of a sudden, I looked down on my pants. There is blueberry filling on my pants. I scooped it up real quickly, didn't have anything, put it in my mouth. I put it all in my mouth. It was not the blueberry filling from the cream muffin. It was bird shit. Boom. Oh, yeah.
The newbies don't know to say boom, which is fine. Why would they? They're not required to. Helps us know when the story's over. You can use another word. But I think if I'm not mistaken, Michael, your last word in that story was the word shit. Am I correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
You're right.
All right, Queen Mary, we got a good start to Heat 2 with
I'm telling you.
Ann in Chicago and Michael in Seattle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's a good heat, as was the first one.
We're gonna keep it moving along. This is an hour, maybe an 80-minute show at most, 75 minutes at most. And that's it. People got things to do. Maybe they want to watch the football game. Up next, going back to Chicago, Marya Morris. You got to unmute yourself. Take your time, Marya.
Unmute myself. Okay. A year ago this month, I was driving home from Story Jam's annual Martin Luther King benefit show. I had such a solidly good feeling about human beings in this country after leaving the show, music and stories. I'm driving home. It's 8 degrees outside. I see movement in the lane across from me. I get close. I realize there's a woman curled up in the fetal position on the ground. There's a man kneeling over her, pounding her head into the pavement. Bam, 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 bam. I'm in my Subaru, of course. I bang this, nailing the tiny little U-turn. I pull up to them. I slap on my bright lights. I get out. I dial 911. I'm like, get the fuck off of her. Get the fuck off of her. I kick the guy in his back, in the middle of his belt. And I'm like, I'm on Emerson Street. There's a guy beating the shit out of somebody. And he's like, get away from here. You didn't see what happened. She hit me with those groceries. The woman says, honey, tell them we're near the Babylon. They know what that means. Tell them we're near the Babylon. The cops come. I'm so fired up, I can't even deal with my adrenaline. I'm like, tell me that woman is going to be okay tonight. And he's like, tonight, but not in the long run. I'm like, you're right, aren't you? I drove home the rest of the way, absent the hope I had after that Martin Luther King show. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Mary. You know, I don't remember the specific slam from back in whenever it was fall, but these are getting better. The stories, the tellers, the quality of these 99-second stories are just getting better and better. And there's like a broad range of types of stories. And
these are really the folks that are really honing their craft. It's amazing. It's amazing the efforts and work they put in.
Yeah. And storytellers, please check the chat. People are communicating with you that way. Everybody else, you're going to vote after we have fourth storyteller next. And then after the fifth one, another poll, another vote, another winner who I will not announce until Mary lets me announce it.
That's right.
And I one time did something Mary said I shouldn't do. And I'm not doing that shit again. So I'm going to wait until she tells me what the fuck to do. Storyteller number 4. Here we go. I think we're going down to Texas.
I think so.
I think we're taking a little trip down to Texas for Ruth. Take your time, Ruth.
Yeehaw.
Yep.
Everybody hear me? All right.
Good.
All right. When I became pregnant with our first child, it was clear we needed another car, a bigger car, a car with safety features and side airbags and car seat tethers. I had spent my formative years in the 80s in Detroit. I grew up in a Jewish household. We bought American cars. We certainly did not buy Nazi cars like Mercedes or Volkswagen. You know, Hitler made them to be the people's car. My spouse, on the other hand, grew up in Texas in a Toyota household. So soon I found myself in the Volkswagen dealership. The salesman was a stately older gentleman with a German accent. He took us around to the models and bragged on their fine German engineering, which caused me to stiffen and bristle. But despite much eye rolling and grabbing of my spouse's arm, we did like a wagon, and we ended up in the office. The salesman ceremoniously stepped out to confer with his manager, and then he came back and he handed the offer across the desk to us. And as he extended his hand, the cuff on his suit rode up and revealed a multi-digit number tattooed on his forearm. The breath was knocked out of me. We bought the car. Boom.
All right. See what I was saying? See what I was saying about that, Queen Mary, about just the breadth of stories here.
Yeah.
Different
Beautiful
kinds of
range.
stories. It's not just more, some are more comedic or more dramatic. They're just different kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
All right.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
We have got one more teller in this second of 3 heats. And then we're going to close it out with our final 6. We'll announce the winners. We're also going to announce, after we do this poll, we will give it an opportunity for a little plugging and promoting.
I think that's a great
from
idea.
both our tellers. Yeah. And then, of course, we'll do it after the winners are announced as well.
Of course.
Just for you, for our tellers, opportunity to share, but keep it very brief here. We don't want it to be like a 20-minute marketing thing. Nobody really wants that shit. Right?
No.
But certainly let us know what you're up to and get a link ready so you can put it in the chat. Our 5th of 5 Heat 2 tellers. Let me find her. Her name is Kate. She's also in the Midwest. Whenever you are ready, Kate, I will start. Have fun.
The year I turned 50, I wasted no time having a midlife crisis. I had to get a motorcycle. I had to ride my own bike, nothing less. So I go and I buy a Kawasaki Vulcan 500. There's one problem. I don't know how to ride. So I sign up for the rider safety course, and it's 2 long days in a classroom. And then we all go out on the motorcycles, me and the other nervous wannabes. I start riding. And right away, my throttle roll is jerky and the bike is just bucking and backfiring and I keep going. But I see my instructor where I'm supposed to make a turn and he's signaling to me. His arms are like flying up and down and he's shouting at me, get your speed up, increase your speed, you're too slow. And I get so focused on his gestures that I forget to turn and I ride straight into him. But it was okay. He was used to it. He just leaned forward and pushed my handlebars in the right direction, and off I went. Well, the class ended, and I aced the written exam, but I flunked the road test. Still, I wouldn't give up. I just had to keep practicing. I practiced in a parking lot. I practiced in a cemetery. I retook the road test, and I passed. And at the same time, I was still single, and I really wanted to meet someone. I had this grand idea that being a motorcyclist would greatly improve my love life. And it did. I met someone who knew how to ride. We hit it off. We hit the road. Still together today. Boom.
Packing a lot in there. Our
Yeah.
tellers are packing a lot in 99 seconds or less. All right, Mary,
Yes.
you have the honors once again.
Oh.
This- you didn't know. You didn't realize it was an honor. I never
No.
really framed it that way before, right?
The honor's all mine, Sean. It's all mine. Definitely. So
Summaries and then a poll. Another poll. Here we go.
here we go. So Dan liked a girl and tried to make her laugh, but she let him know, just because you make me laugh doesn't take away the sad. Michael had his dream car almost of a Pontiac Firebird, but had a bad day when he realized the blueberry muffin was bird shit. Marya lost faith after having faith when she had to call the police when she saw a fight on the side of the road. Ruth learned, going to a Volkswagen dealership, that sometimes there are folks there that are able to help her figure out the right way to buy a car. And Kate wouldn't give up on her road test for a motorcycle. And not only did she pass that, but she found her love.
For some reason, I have had a harder time summarizing these 5 tellers. Sometimes you can't just summarize things, right? Art isn't really like that.
No.
You did a great job. I'm going to launch this poll right now.
All right. Everybody's got to vote. Vote,
Heat
vote.
2. Again, Dan, Michael, Marya, Ruth. Up. Shit. Sean made a mistake.
Oh.
Good. I'm glad I didn't launch that, right? Give me a sec.
Look at you, caught it.
Yeah.
Caught it.
Mary, can you
Can I go over people again?
yeah, would you mind doing that? Hang on one sec. I just want to
Sure.
make sure I get this right.
Listen, it's going to help everybody who's voting if they're on.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
It's cool.
Hang on one sec.
Yeah.
I need to redo the poll, that's why. So hang on.
Okay.
All right, just give me again name and blurb. So it's Dan.
So Dan, crush on a girl, making her laugh.
Yep.
Okay. Michael, blueberry muffin and bird shit. Sorry
What?
to just bring it down to that, Michael, but Pontiac Firebird.
Yeah, I know, but we've done it twice, so I'm just gonna hone in on the 1 or 2 keywords. Dan, crush on girl. Michael, bird shit. Yep.
Yeah. Marya, having her hope changed after seeing a fight.
Yep.
Ruth was the Volkswagen
Yep.
dealership, and Kate was the motorcycle, not giving up and meeting her love.
Got it. All right. Thank you for your patience, y'all.
You got to do it right, Sean.
Got to do it right. I made one tiny mistake, but it would have been not good.
Yeah, see?
All right. Let us hope this works. And if not, then you'll probably see me throw my computer right out my window.
That'll be new.
The event will be over.
It sure
I
will.
won't have burned bridges as I always do.
I think so. I think so. Don't do that. No. There's another way. There's another way. Right?
All right. I'm about to throw my computer out the window.
No. There's none of
Here's
that.
the deal. Hang on.
Oh,
We're good.
okay.
I'm just confused by something. I apologize to you all. Let me just see if I can edit this. Hang on.
Okay.
My apologies. I'm not understanding why I got to do it one more time. If it doesn't work this time, then we're gonna have to go old school, okay?
Oh, so you're gonna make me work harder? Well,
No, you know what, Mary, while I do this
Yeah.
is a good time. I probably should have figured this out beforehand.
Mhm.
Ask any of our tellers, because I'm not very good at multitasking.
Sure.
Particularly those 11 that have told already,
Mhm.
unmute yourself.
And we can plug shows.
Just do a quick plug.
Yeah.
Keep it brief, okay? Is that cool? Can you run that, Mary?
I can run that.
Thank you.
Who's got a show to plug?
I got one.
All right, you go
All
for
right,
it.
Dan. Go
All right.
for it, Dan.
Hey everybody. Thank you so much for showing up to this show. I have a storytelling sort of open mic on Twitch. My group is called Story Luck. We're at Story Luck on all social media. And I'd love to see you tomorrow around 6 p.m.
Awesome. 6 p.m. What time zone? In the
Central.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Thank you, Dan. If you want to put that in the chat, feel free.
Yep. I'll send a link.
Sure.
So, Brian, I think I saw your hand go up, my friend.
Later on, you'll be hearing Christel Bartelse, herself and myself, co-produce and co-host a monthly show the first Sunday of every month called But That's Another Story, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. 6 tellers. One of them is having trouble with his computer right now, so you can come. It's pay what you can. We suggest the $10. The money goes to the tellers, and every week we have a different charity, and it's the Red Door Shelter. So it's in the chat.
Excellent. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
I may have a computer to join you on that show. I hope.
You will.
I think I'm still gonna have the laptop I have. Who else has got stuff coming up?
Kate looks like she does.
Kate?
Yeah. I have a 14-minute video version of the story I just told with slides that's going to be running the month of February in the film festival sponsored by Manhattan Repertory Company Storytelling Festival. So it's Manhattan Rep Storytelling Festival for the whole month of February.
Awesome.
Thank you.
If you have a link for this just goes for everybody. Put it in
Okay.
there. Just remember, these people are going to see your link for like 11 seconds and it's going to fly up the chat. So you can put it in a couple times.
Yeah. And then I saw Paul's hand go up.
Paul, yeah. Paul does all sorts of stuff. I see his name.
I do too many things, I find. I run Replay Storytelling, which is an all-true storytelling show in Toronto, but we invite people from anywhere around the world. We're celebrating our 5th anniversary in the beginning of March.
Mazel.
You can get more information at replaystorytelling.com.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
who thinks Paul's got a radio voice?
Right.
Well, thank you.
I'm not the only one who feels that way right now.
Yeah.
Not showing any favoritism here, though, Queen Mary.
No.
You don't show any favoritism here. It's a slam. Anyone
Mark,
else?
I think Mark put his hand
Mark
up.
has something?
It's not my show, but I'm just plugging it because it's one of the people I like best in the world. David Garrett's got a fundraiser for United Way in February 20th. It's got some of the best storytellers in the world. It's got the quote-unquote chart throb election guy from MSNBC. It's got Matt Dix, Sarah Sweet, Rabbit Kelsey, Katie Leisner. So it's got like the best lineup I've heard of in years. So I just put the link in there.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mark.
Pretty sure the best lineup in years is on my stuff. But I think I'm so partial though. I'm so subjectively biased to my own people. Sounds like an awesome lineup. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good. Can I launch it?
Yeah, I think
launch the poll.
Yeah, let's do it.
So again, Dan, Michael, Marya, Ruth, and Kate, pick your winner for heat number 2. You've all done a great job. So I really appreciate everybody telling and voting. We could have 43 people max without Mary or me. So let us see. Oh, this is going to be close again, Mary.
Oh, I love this. I love it. I love to see that. It just shows you the quality of stories when it's this close.
Oh, my dear.
Yeah.
All right, everybody's got to vote because it's one. There's like a
yeah.
Yeah, it's so close. It's so close.
Oh my God.
Let's get everybody in. We get at least 5 more, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Up to 4 more people can vote. I know. Look, you might be in the bathroom and you're not hearing me, or have no interest, or maybe you didn't hear it. So yeah. Let's give it 15 more seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
1 vote might make a difference, and let's be inclusive and yada, yada, yada. Is that it?
I think that's it.
We got a tie.
We do. Yeah.
No, we don't. We have a winner.
Oh, we do.
Let's go to 1:30. 8 more seconds. Just to be. How about that?
Yeah. No, I think that's
and that's it. Okay. It was close.
It was very close.
There was a 1 vote difference, and they snuck it in right as I was about to close the poll, and that's how it works sometimes, right?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know we're not doing like fake surprise here or fake steak.
Uh-uh.
Like we legitimately was really close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. All right. Cool. Final heat.
Woot woot.
Our 6 storytellers have been very patient. Our final 6. They've been waiting. They've been voting. Maybe they're multitasking a little bit. Some of them might be. I'm just guessing, like trying to check out the score of the AFC Championship game. I'm not preoccupied at all by that. It's not on my mind.
No.
If you want to stay here with us and know the score, you all know that the Bucks beat the Packers and KC is beating Buffalo 21-9.
Oh.
So now you could stay here with us.
Right. They got their DVRs going. It's fine.
Did people use a DVR anymore, Mary?
DVR? Yeah. Don't they?
I think that's like 2002-ish.
A little
DVR.
condescending there, Sean.
Listen, I still record my shows on my DVR. I absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I great. Next up, Steph Rogers. Where's Steph? There she is. Are you here, Steph?
I'm here. Hi.
Wait, hang one sec.
Okay.
I need to spotlight you. There you go. Take your time.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It's September of 2007, and my husband and I have decided to have a baby because we're young and we're virile, and it's go time. Lots and lots of go time. And I know in my heart she's going to be a girl because a long time ago I was pregnant very briefly. And because I was way too young then, because the guy I was with was way too wrong, we decided not to have the baby. But before we made that decision, I had a little talk with her and I said, listen, little baby girl, please come back later when I find a great dad for you. And now I found him, my husband. And he says to me, so what do you want to name the baby? And I say, well, I think it's going to be a girl. And I think we should name her Melody because she's going to be musical and she'll be artistic and she'll be like a free spirit. And he says, no. She needs to be way more practical than that. And I said, no, she doesn't. So we get the room ready and we paint it. And I listen to these fertility meditations. And in the meditations, they say, talk to the baby and tell the baby that you have a happy home, but it'll be even more happy when you come, baby. So she's taking her time and she's taking a long time. So we go to the doctors and we get the tests and I get the shots and I take the pills. And secretly, when my husband isn't paying attention, I talk to her and I say, Melody, please come. We're waiting. We've been waiting for a long time. Please come. It's time. And we wait for 8 years before we give up. And that room, that's her room. It's been a catch-all. It's been a laundry room. It's been my husband's home office. It's a beautiful shade of pink. Thank you.
Good job, Steph. All right. 5 more tellers. People are like they have all evening. They are putting in their comments in the chat. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
We are at 1 hour. We actually started at about 10 after.
We do. That's what we usually do.
Yeah, we're not rushing here, but I've learned less is sometimes more.
That's true.
Shorter, sometimes better.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger's not always better. Did I just go into an area that I didn't want to?
I think you did. So come back.
Did I just? Okay, I'll come back to the
Come on back.
speaker now. Fine.
Got you. I got you.
Next up, live from Toronto land, Paul. I'm not sure how to say his last name.
Aflalo. You got it. Don't worry about it.
Aflalo. Yep. All right, take your time, ma'am.
Sweet. All right, here we go. So I'm sitting at the dining room table with my nephew Zachary, who's 4. We're playing a game. Right next to him is his Fisher-Price karaoke machine that he brings with him wherever he goes. Off to the dining room, open to the entire space, is a living room where there's my older sister Marnie and my brother Mark, Zachary's father, and they're debating the difference between contains nuts and may contain nuts for 45 minutes. And it's driving me crazy. So I look at Zachary and I say, Zachary, what's the difference between may contain nuts and contains nuts? And he looks at me and says, well, Uncle Polly, contains nuts means it's definitely there. May contain nuts means it might be there or it might not. So I look at him and say, Zachary, could you go up to Dado and Auntie Marnie and tell them exactly that? So he plops off the chair, grabs his Fisher-Price karaoke machine, walks to the living room, stands in front of my sister and my brother, plops the machine onto the ground, puts it at max volume, brings the microphone up to his mouth, presses the button, and goes, excuse me, Dado and Auntie Marnie. The difference between may contain nuts and contains nuts is that may contain nuts means it might be there or it might not, but contains nuts means it'll definitely be there. And then he extends his arm, drops the mic, and walks into the kitchen, leaving us all in disbelief. Boom.
Your ball.
Oh.
Paul A, I'm going to call him, in Toronto.
There we go.
Is he an Argonauts fan? Don't know. Don't need to know. Doesn't really matter. Good job, y'all. So Steph and Paul, Chicago and Toronto, hell of a start to section / heat 3, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
4 more tellers, being patient. You know who you are. Hands going into the hat, proving hat. And we have our final Canadian of the evening, I believe. Christel, spotlight you. Take your time.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
It's the summer of 1999, and I get to spend the summer as a 20-year-old in New York City attending an acting program. After just 1 week, I have bonded with all of my classmates, but especially Brooke, the only other Canadian. And besides our passion for acting, we both love to party. So our mission will be to get into all of the hottest nightclubs in Manhattan without any ID proving we're 21. It's Friday night and we're standing on the lineup of Club Life. At the time, I hear it's the #1 place Leonardo DiCaprio likes to frequent. I've read it in every gossip magazine. As we get to the front of the line, finally, the doorman looks at us. We smile and toss back our hair, but without any ID, he sends us exiting with our heads hung in shame. We're standing outside of Club Life in complete despair when out of nowhere, this gentleman, early 30s, walks up to us. And there's a heat wave, but he's wearing a black leather jacket. You girls trying to get in? Yes, we nod. He takes Brooke's hand, he takes my hand, and he walks us right past the lineup, right past the doormat, into Club Life. We are both in awe. The guy looks at us, he says, have a great night, and disappears into the crowd. Brooke and I are just staring at each other, but she runs off to the ladies' washroom. I tell her I wait, but I don't. I start searching that club in every crevice for DiCaprio. I see a little room with a black curtain. I peer it open, and it's a VIP room. And there, a gentleman picks me up, the security guy. He's about to kick me out when I hear a voice. Leave her alone. She's with me. And when I turn around to see who it is, screw DiCaprio, because it is Prince, the artist known as Prince. He takes my hand, and for the rest of the night, we party like it's 1999. Boom.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So Heat 3 is getting hot.
I'm telling you. Whew. Yeah.
Gotta read between the lines with that last part about partying like it's 1999.
Yeah, well.
That's what good storytelling does, though. Am I right?
It is.
You don't get all the answers.
No.
You leave us wanting, leave us curious, leave us wondering. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Dan said in the chat, I want a 15-minute version of that story.
I was feeling a little judgmental towards the Canadians before that night started. No other reason than I'm kind of a jerk. I'm humbled.
I think you're judgmental about everybody, though, Sean. I don't think the Canadians should feel special, honestly.
Why make them feel any more right? Across the board, be a jerk.
Right.
I'm a jerk to everyone. All
Don't
right,
save it. Don't save it.
Yeah.
No.
4th of 6 storytellers, final heat of this final, the wild card. Grand Slam next weekend. Same time, same night. We'll have 21 freaking tellers. Huh? Just got a little New York for you. Got 21 freaking tellers. Here we go. Chandreyee, where are you? I'm going to spotlight you. Excuse me. Take your time.
Hello.
Hey, Chandreyee.
Hey. So that Christmas, the Christmas party had a theme: red
and sexy. And my girlfriends who came up with the dress code, it wasn't a problem for them. They had great figures, perfect hair, and their selfie game was wicked good. So they had decided that we were going to take this big group selfie at the end. No, actually individual selfies, fabulous ones at the end of the night. It was a different story for me as I was getting ready that night, and I looked in the mirror and I squirmed at my pear-shaped body that I had poured into this tight skirt and this clingy shirt, and I was trying to suck in my gut like people do, but I was also trying to suck in my butt through sheer force of will when my 7-year-old son walks into the room, and I tell him in all my grief, I say, "Oh, how do I look?" And he looks me up and down and goes, "I don't know." I'm so desperate. I go, "No, tell me." And he goes, "Mama, I'm trying, but I don't know what you're supposed to look like." And that takes the breath out of me, because hell, it looks like I don't know either. And after that kid leaves, I rip off those stupid clothes. I reach for my most comfortable jeans. I reach for this flowy, loose red top that feels like butter on my skin. I pull out the 100 pins I put into my curly hair to tame it and look nice. And now when I look in the mirror, I'm not inhaling, I'm exhaling. My butt and my gut are exactly where they were meant to be, and I look like I'm supposed to. And that night, my selfie was fabulous. Boom.
A lot of vulnerability this evening, Queen Mary.
Yes, I agree.
A lot of vulnerability.
Yes. Yes.
Love that.
Fabulous.
15 people have told stories so far.
Wow.
There's only 2 people who have yet to tell. They know, of course, they know who they are.
Of course.
There's no surprise in that. I mean, I'm not going to surprise someone here like, what? I had no idea you were going to call me to tell a story.
Right. No.
Nobody's winging this here. I don't think any of our tellers are winging it. This stuff takes work, craft. It's a craft.
It is a craft.
Our final or second to last storyteller, which, by the way, if I don't call your name, you are the only person here this evening who knows that you're definitely going to be telling a story next. It's a kind of different type of pressure.
It is.
Anu, you are next. Sharon Eisner will follow you, and then we will vote. You got to unmute. Okie dokie.
I'm just going to find my clock. All right, like most everyone else, I watched the inauguration speeches this week. The ones by Biden and Amanda Gorman were particularly special for me because I am a speech language pathologist and work with people who stutter and kids who have difficulty with speech sounds. So while I was watching these speeches, I was reminded of my little girl, Lily. Lily was a 5-year-old girl who had trouble with some speech sounds. During one particular session, she was not interested in practicing her sounds. She was chewing on her shirt, looking down, fidgeting, not doing what I asked her to do. So I sat next to her, pulled out some unicorn coloring sheets and started coloring. And I asked her, "What do you like about coming to speech therapy?" Her face brightened up. She said, "Writing stories, making crafts, drawing unicorns." I smiled and I said, "Yeah, but you know we're here to work on your speech, right?" She looked away, more fidgeting, more chewing. I said, "Why do you think we need to work on your speech?" in my kindest, most thoughtful voice. Her voice really quiet. She said, "I don't know." I said, "You have such great imagination and write such good stories. You want everyone to be able to understand them, right?" I hit the right note, kind, convincing, focusing on her strengths. And I waited. Her dress fell out of her mouth. She looked quickly up at me and said, "Why do I have to change the way I talk? People who care about me always understand me. Why can't others try?" I look forward to a day when we all try a little harder to understand Lily's stories. Boom.
Great job. Good job, Anu. Great job, everybody.
Yeah.
Mary, do you have an announcement you want to make before Sharon, our final teller, goes? Are you involved in anything that you want to share? Working on something? You got any announcements?
Yeah, I'm going to be in a show February 27th. Better said than done. So come see me.
Hi.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So.
All right, cool. Final storyteller, she knows who she is. Now, if you're watching this and you want to take part, or if you do take part and you aren't going through, and we'll find out soon, come to future slams.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's how you get better and that's how you'll go through. And sometimes you got to get a little lucky and be in the right group or not in this group. Luck of the draw a little bit, but still, you got to be good. Get a lot of town here today, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Just keep getting better.
All right, Sharon Eisner, let me find you. There you are, and spotlight you. Take your time.
So think back to middle school. Remember that one kid who was totally cool and wild and just, they were drinking and doing drugs and maybe even having sex. So my mom was convinced that I was that kid. And I was not, but my mom was very paranoid. I was the kid who was playing cello and chess. I wished in my wildest dreams that I was having half the fun my mom thought I was having in middle school. But as I said, she was very paranoid. And this came to a head one day when she was looking through my drawers, as she sometimes did, and she found a white pill, a little white oblong pill, and she freaked out. She calls my dad in a panic. He told me the story later. And she's crying and she says, I found it. Sharon's on drugs. I knew she was on drugs, but I don't know what it is. So my dad says, go to the pharmacy. So she goes to the neighborhood pharmacy, Mr. Sandground. And according to my dad, she walked in crying. She held out the pill. She said, I found drugs in my daughter's drawer. Tell me what it is. Tell me, is my daughter on heroin? Is it a heroin pill? My mom doesn't know a lot about drugs. Sandground apparently takes the pill, looks at it, gives it back to my mom and says, no, Mrs. Eisner, this is not a heroin pill. This is a Tic Tac. Boom.
All right. Good job, y'all. Ending the show this evening, our wild card and the last slam before the grand slam of season 2 with the word tic tac.
Tic-tac.
You can't script this shit, Queen Mary. You can't write it up any better.
No, it's amazing.
All right, nobody went over. A couple of you were really, really freaking close to going over, but ready to summarize, ready to vote, and we will stretch out the winner announcement as much as we can, but we will need to say it soon. So, all right, let us summarize, yeah?
All right, sounds good. So Steph talked about the beautiful pink room that turned into a catch-all when they were hoping to catch a baby in the family.
Yeah.
Paul talked about how Zachary dropped the mic talking about it contains nuts, the difference between contains nuts and may contain nuts. Yeah. Smart nephew. Christel talked about the summer of 1999, getting into the club and ditching Leo for Prince. Chandreyee talked about getting her selfie game perfectly for Red and Sexy, just being the way she is. Anu talked about 5-year-old Lily, who wants everybody to maybe listen to how she sounds instead of having to change it for everybody else. And we look forward to that day. And all I have to say about Sharon is, instead of a heroin pill, turned out to be a Tic Tac.
How are we summarizing Chandreyee's? I just want to get it right in this poll.
She made her selfie game. She did great with her own selfie game. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Steph, Paul, Christel. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Chandreyee, Anu, and Sharon. Those are our final 6.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to launch it. We have up to 43 people that can vote, including all tellers. We will then we'll announce who's going to the Grand Slam, and then hopefully people can hang out.
Yes.
Before we do that, I feel like tellers, see what I did there again? See what I'm doing here?
You're stalling.
I'm going to launch the poll, and then I'm going to come back and ask the tellers who told in the last round if they have something to promote.
Okay. Sounds delightful.
Let's give them what they want.
Right. People want to vote. They're ready.
They want to vote. Voting's fun.
They want to vote.
I'm just checking that I got the names right. I did. Okay. Launching poll. Hopefully everyone can vote. We're only going to have 3. Think about this. 3 people from all of these people, all these stories going through.
It's crazy.
Only 3.
They're all so good. I know.
There are so many good stories. Right?
I totally agree. Totally agree. I'm
Every
just
time
saying.
I think like, I know the formula. Nope, I don't.
No,
There's no real formula.
no.
A lot of talent, a lot of good stories. I think this one's over,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This one's not quite as close as the others, huh?
No.
All right, we're going to close that poll. We're
Okay.
not sharing results. There'll be some sort of mutiny.
We will though.
Yeah, we might do that one day. Of our final 6, you can unmute yourself real quick. Share with us some stuff you're doing, producing, telling, other stuff, classes. Nobody?
I can do. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Christel?
You go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
I'm-
Steph.
Okay, well, hi everybody. I'm gonna be in a wonderful show with a wonderful group of people. It's to celebrate the Lunar New Year. What are we calling it, Angela? It's a Lunar New Year Septogs show. You can find it on Facebook. We should all be friends on Facebook, but we're gonna put it in. It's in all of the groups, like the storytelling groups, and it is on the 12th of February. And then on the 13th of February, we have an open mic. Story Jam has an open mic called The Cocoon, and we hope we'll all come and bring a story, whether it's a short story or a long story.
Cool.
Check it out at storyjamshow.com or on Facebook looking up Story Jam. Thanks. I'll put a link. Oh, Angela put a link. Yay.
All right. Who else?
Thanks.
Christel. Yep.
Brian plugged it, but I'm the other half of, but that's another story, February 7th. Yeah, Eastern time. And one of the hosts of tonight's show is also going to be joining us on our show. So check that out. It's in the chat.
Cool. Who else?
I got one more thing I can plug.
Sure.
Coming up on, we last year during the pandemic, we started the 24-hour True Storytelling Festival that we did on June 13th. The second edition is coming up in the fall, likely at the beginning of October. You can find out more at truestories24.org. It was madness for those of you who participated. Yeah, it was lots of fun. We had over 120 storytellers from around the world sharing true personal stories over the course of 24 hours. So we have
doing it again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fun.
Anyone else before we announce the 3 winners and then just hang a bit if you want to? No one else?
No?
Give it a moment.
Wow.
All right,
Sorry
check
for
the
the
chat.
quiet.
Check the chat. Next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Grand Slam. Like this, but 2 rounds. All people who have either won or been in the second round of prior slams. They will bring 2 stories. They will compete. And I will be equally acerbic and sarcastic. And it doesn't rub everyone the right way. What are you going to do? Other events that we have real quick. We have an open mic that's relatively new, monthly, called the Mental Health Happy-ish Hour. So if you have a story that centers on or is related to mental health and you want to share it at that event, it's an open mic. They're usually no more than 7 minutes. And that would be wonderful. We need more tellers for that. They're important stories and they're not always the easiest to find and get people, which for understandable reasons. I'll be done plugging. I'm done plugging for now. If you want to find more information, I put the Facebook group in the chat several times. Grit the group. I'll do it one more time. Now, are we 100% on the same page of who won, Mary?
We are, but I think there's
certainly
one more.
don't want you to say the wrong names accidentally.
No, that's why I double checked with you. So before we do that though, Rona's got something, Rona? Did you put it in the chat or do you want to tell us?
Hi, yeah, I actually did put it in the chat. I'm afraid I don't have exact dates, but coming up in February, March rather, is the Women's Storytelling Festival I'll be doing. In that. And the Chennai, India Storytelling Festival next month is over a couple of weekends, and we'll have a ton of storytellers, myself included. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then I'll be telling at the next Better Said Than Done with Mary.
Oh, cool.
awesome.
Mary,
It's time, I
heat
think.
number 1, there were 6 tellers.
Yes,
There's one winner.
there was.
His name or her name is?
Brian with an E from Canada. Woo, woo.
Brian with an E from Canada was all of these were very, very close.
Very
On
close.
behalf of my country, thank you.
Number 2, heat number 2, 5 tellers. Who was our winner?
The Bro Crush man, Dan from Illinois, Chicago. We're in Chicago, Illinois. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's shocked. He can't even talk.
Yes. Well, that happened. I'm surprised at that.
And
And
our heat number 3, 6 storytellers. Our winner this evening is
also from Chicago, Steph, our story jam lady.
So what we have? Chicago, and Toronto.
Toronto.
But they're more than just the cities.
They are.
17 tellers. 3 are going to the Grand Slam. The others, thank you. For some of them, it was their first, others not. Thank you for doing it. Come back. It'll be fun. Either way, I hope you can join us next week and vote and just be part of the fun. And then eventually you'll get there and just support us. And you know what? Sometimes when the show's over, you got to stop talking. So we're done. Good night. Thanks, y'all. Congrats, y'all. And we're going to stick around and hang out and do a little loose Q&A or whatever it looks like. So if you want to join us, great. If not, thank you.
All right. Get off live and stop recording.